Honey, very good evening to you. What do you make of this series of revelations, and who knows what's to come over the next few days, once people have read the entire book?
What do I make of it? I think some of the revelations and some of the allegations I've been quite shocked by hearing today, as I'm sure many people have. And of course, we're hearing the most shocking bits. That's always the bits that get leaked first or get talked about in the media first, because they are the ones that get everybody interested, of course, in the book. I do think, I was listening to you earlier, Iain, and I think some of the feelings that you were expressing are very representative, actually, of a lot of the feelings that I've heard from people who seem to be very outraged, very angered by it. I don't have those feelings personally, but I think that is because of my specialist area that I work in. Because the truth is, I work with public figures all the time. That's what we specialise in. And I've seen this before, where a public figure, sort of after many years, it's usually after many years of keeping a lid on things that they feel so frustrated that the world doesn't know, because we know this because they often work with us behind the scenes, if you like, and we're in a supportive role. Finally, they just want to take that lid off and tell the whole world everything. And so some of the things that I know you've been talking about and listened into your last interview about it just being for the money and just that, I would question that. I think they are public figures who can make money in a variety of different ways. In my experience, when public figures do a tell-all book, or they do some massive interview and blow things wide open, there's often an emotional charge behind that, a real sort of sense or a need to tell it like they think it is. And it's interesting because earlier you said, Iain, you said something about, I think it was about his revelations from his time in the military. You said, this is just not the conventional thing. And I think that's probably more what this is about, that here is an individual who was born into a particular role in life with no choice in the matter and was expected. The weight of expectation on anybody in the public eye, let alone the royal family, is very, very heavy. And I think here's a person who's grown up in the public eye, and I don't know, maybe it is. We are speculating, of course, but maybe it is about saying to heck with convention.
Well,
I don't know.
Maybe, but the point about the military side of it is, I know people that served with Prince Harry and they thought the world of him. They said he was a great soldier. I think they will all... Yes,
lots of people have said he was a great soldier.
They will all feel completely let down by what he's done in this book.
I think it's very difficult. I think we have to be careful that we don't assume we know how people feel. Obviously, we're seeing a lot of the reactions. I think one of the things I would say, which is interesting, because there are some things that are being talked about that were in the book that I personally would have a little bit of concern that these things have been published. One of the things my team and I do at Onset Welfare, we advise production companies and people who publish things to the world. And one of the things we do as a check and balance for our clients is we often say, look, if you publish that, if that goes out on air, this could leave somebody at risk, or actually there might be implications to that. And we always advise that that's considered very carefully and that somebody is able to give fully informed consent to that. I personally, if I had been advising the publisher behind it, I don't know who it was actually yet,
Penguin
I would have been saying, oh, was it Random House? I would just be questioning some of the things that are said as to whether it could actually cause implications for Harry's family, both the royal family and his other private family, that I would have a few concerns about. And I can only hope that they are getting support behind the scenes. Harry has publicly said that he has a therapist, that he seeks mental health support. And of course, being in this field myself, I champion that. I think that's a good thing. I think it's important actually for anyone in the public eye to have support from a professional.
Honey, thank you. That's Honey Langcaster-James from Onset Welfare.